You have broken free from the fear of being seen, which was an illusion, all because you understood where that fear began and started. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Self Love is Currency. If you are new to this channel and resonate with the title or any other content on this channel, feel free to hit that like button and feel free to subscribe for more content as such. To all of my returning subscribers, my day ones, my OGs, thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart and soul for all of your continued support, all of the comments, the likes, the shares, the love that you continue to show me. I truly do appreciate you from, like I just said that. What is happening to my mind today? But I truly do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart so much. I am praying you all success, loads of self love and positive energy. I am sending all of that juicy, yummy, delicious energy your way. Um, Without further ado, let's get back into it. And I do want to make a quick disclaimer. I did upload a short. It was, I want to say, on Sunday of last week. So if you want to go check that out, I guess that is the precursor um to this video. And if y'all hear any jingling in the background or meowing, that is my cat, Sage. Shout out to her. But yes, this fear of being seen, which has been debilitating for you, which has caused blockages in your life. Um, and I'm gonna pause this really quick, which has caused blockages in your life. You are freeing yourself from this imaginary bondage. You are freeing yourself from this illusion because you understand now. You have made sense of the illusion, this trick, this plot twist, this spiritual plot twist. You've made sense of it. A lot of things that we go through in adulthood are simply manifestations of unhealed childhood trauma. So it's not that you're necessarily all the way fearful of showing yourself or being seen. This may be in a sense of social media on a platform. This may even be on a Zoom call for a work meeting or work huddle. This may be you even going to the grocery store, or you're just out in your community, your city, town, running errands. But in the back of your mind, you have this fear of other people noticing you. And you have taken ownership of this fear when it wasn't you that actually placed it on yourself, if that makes sense. So when you were younger, you remember moments where you have allowed yourself to be seen, whether this be at school, whether this be at church, whether this be amongst family and friends, and you were confident. Maybe you came off a bit shy at first, but once you stepped foot in the spotlight, you were confident and somebody else saw this. So they chose to humiliate you, embarrass you. They chose to judge you or mock you. And that made you want to take a cup. And I cannot talk. This is crazy. But this message is going to come out, period. So this caused you to take a couple steps back from the spotlight. And really, it's not even the spotlight, it's your own illumination. These psychological warfare filled experiences cause you to dim your light because you didn't want to experience the humiliation rituals. You didn't want to experience the rejection. You didn't want to get talked about for simply showing up as you. So, in order to alleviate all of that mental anguish and maybe even physical pain, if you were dealing with sadistic sociopaths or psychopaths um, that were masked as family, maybe they took it out in other traumatic ways. So, in order to alleviate all of that and keep yourself safe, you dimmed your light. You stopped talking or you chose to say less. You kept your rebuttals to yourself. And as time went on, like you matured, but that part of you that wanted to shine, it stayed the same out of fear for what might happen because of those hurtful experiences you had. And these weren't all the time strangers or friends of the family. These were sometimes family members, those closest to you that caused you the most harm for not doing shit but showing up as you. The demons that they allowed on some level to take control got so bothered and were so bothered by your purity, your light, your innocence that it created agitation within the vessels of these people to where they were so agitated, they were so irritated, they were so bothered. Like, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all as adults, like you have still witnessed people to this day. Their demons are so bothered by you whenever you are in their energy, they start to act the fuck out. And it's crazy. But you would never think that your family would treat you in this unkind manner. And maybe, if you grew up in a dysfunctional household, you really didn't have anything to compare it to. So you're also maybe thinking this is how normal families operate. And like I said, as you got older, this never truly went away, this fear, even though you always tried to have a positive outlook on life and be optimistic, and you didn't let these experiences of humiliation, rejection, ridicule, harsh judgment, shit talking hold you back from excelling and going to the next level. You still couldn't kind of figure out, where this energy was stemming from. Like, why couldn't you beat this monster of a fear? That is until you realized that it was an illusion. Things were set up so that you could sit down and stay down. People treated you in a certain way and made you feel weird for showing up as your authentic self because they lack the confidence and the self-love to do it themselves. So they mocked you instead. They themselves gave too many fucks about what other people thought about them or would think. And they had the opportunity to experience moments where you didn't care. So they project it, making you feel bad for their lack of confidence, for their lack of self love, for their lack of authenticity, for their lack of purity and allowing their inner child to be seen. They made you feel bad. And you thought about it. Like, how can I be shunned for showing up as myself? If I'm an extension of the Most High, how are people able to stand in treating me ill because of how I am showing up authentically? That's crazy work. That is true crazy work, but that also shows you that that energy is not of the divine. That energy is of the devil. For you to be mocked, ridiculed, judged harshly, humiliated in front of groups of people, talked about, put down, degraded, manipulated, and deceived is downright nasty. And that further led you to think that allowing yourself to be seen was something unsafe. So you had these tangible moments, these moments that actually showed you it wasn't safe to show up and be yourself. It wasn't safe to shine bright. It wasn't safe to speak up. It wasn't safe to have an opinion. It wasn't safe to be confident in your creativity or whatever gifts or offerings you have to give to the world. It was never safe. And as you think about that, it's not just this idea that's in your head. It's not like, oh, woe was me, something is fucked up with me, because you have concrete evidence of the moments where you've showed up and people have showed their ass. People have turned their back. And I'm saying people loosely, but like I said before, these people have been family members, whether it be, a parent bullying you for being creative, whether it be a cousin, talking shit about you because you decided to do one business venture versus what they're doing. I can make endless examples, but the fear of being seen has been a seed that was sown and planted a long time ago in your childhood. And your inner child wishes to be free from this illusion. And by you understanding like how the illusion was casted and started, that's one step. And the second step would be to allow yourself to be seen. I think that allowing yourself to be seen is one of the highest forms of self-love, because it's like, fuck everybody's opinion. Other people's opinions, other people's negative comments, if that is the case, how they feel I should represent myself, which is crazy. If you think about, how can another human tell you how you should represent yourself? The human is multi-talented, so intelligent. So that could never be the case. Like, you cannot tell somebody else how to be themselves. That's for them to figure out. And if somebody is so much invested in how you should represent yourself, that just shows you right there that they are unfamiliar with who they are, because they are spending so much energy critiquing and trying to give direction, spending time that they could be pouring into themselves into you. They are learning more about you than they are learning about themselves. I really hope that this message reaches who it needs to. But the fear of being seen, and I have to remind myself too, is just some bullshit. It was a spiritual plot twist. It was a spiritual trap to keep you stuck. It was that game of hide and seek and nobody ever found you. You were supposed to stay hidden in the dark. You were supposed to stay sleep to yourself. And it's not like the enemy is that damn busy. And I'm talking about the people now at this moment who didn't want you to shine. It's not like they are doing big shit. You know, maybe some of them are, but it was just your spirit, your aura, your personality, who you are on an innate level, because you aren't so full of toxicity, dysfunction. You love people wholeheartedly, even still, even with all of your experiences with toxic, with dysfunctional, with manipulative, with deceptive, with con artists, scammers, pedophiles, whatever type of vile person you could think of. Even with all of those experiences, you still choose to move from a heart space and treat people kind, and that irritates people who lack integrity, but also spiritual integrity. So yeah, to them, with you representing yourself and standing on business, like for real, they had to make you feel weird, because you standing in your power and your light made them feel weird and really made them feel the shit that they are, for lack of better words. Their energy was shitty, and that's how they felt when they saw a real, true, divine being stand up. Even as a child, you made adults nervous. So yeah, that is all I have for y'all today. I hope that you enjoyed this message. If you are still tuned and tapped in, go ahead and click that like button and drop down below any experiences that y'all have had with this whole notion of fearing being seen by others, or drop down some emojis. With that being said, I will catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be blessed. Peace.